Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Chapman News special. I'm Alec Bochner, and thank you so much for joining us. Chapman University is what Jafar in the Disney movie Aladdin says is a diamond in the rough. By the way, this is my parrot, Iago. Anyways, amongst the other schools in Southern California, such as UCLA, USC, San Diego State, Chapman is a hidden gem nestled right here in the rolling hills of Orange County. But Orange County isn't just the glitz and glamour shown on reality TV. It's a land of diversity, mixing cultures that brings the ideas of around the world to one place. And here at Chapman, with students and faculty from more than 60 countries in all 50 states, there are perspectives from every angle, views from every vantage point, and of course, opinions from every living, breathing 18 to 22-year-old. On today's show, we bring the hot-bag topics swirling around the campus to this very stage. This is a place where the voices of our students can be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chapman. And now we welcome our lovely three panelists. Today we have Roxanne Elhachem, and she can hook you up with as many fast passes as Disney as any of you want. Connor Williams, whose middle name might as well be Fitness, and Jasmine Johnson, who by far, we can all agree, has the best hair in the business. Guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So for our first topic today, guys, let's talk about Chapman is very, very Greek. No, they don't have, large columns in Acropolis, but rather fraternities and sororities. Greek life has a huge influence on our campus. But before we discuss it, we send it out to Carly Danner, who spoke with Chapman students about Greek life and Greek life housing.
Hi, I'm Carly Danner. So we have 9 fraternities and 8 sororities on campus. It makes up about 38% of the student body, but unlike most universities, there's no Greek housing here. So we took to campus to ask both Greeks and non-Greeks what they think about Greek housing, or maybe if it would create a bigger divide on campus.
Yeah, I would love to see Greek housing here. I feel like it would bring everybody a lot closer and kind of bring us out of our comfort zones because we're so used to seeing each other in a certain light. And I feel like living together, it's just you see so many different sides of everyone and you get closer to people you wouldn't normally get close to.
I actually think it'll create a bigger divide between Greeks and non-Greeks, so I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Well, I think that a lot of people who are affiliated already live together in houses, so I think that, there should be, because they already do live together, so it won't make a bit of a difference.
We shouldn't have Greek housing just because I enjoy the flexibility in which you join. You can still be close with your own group. However, you can also kind of network and branch out, because I feel like if I lived in a house, I wouldn't really have that experience, which I think has been advantageous to my experiences here at Chapman, knowing people outside of my chapter.
All right, guys, so I think we can all agree that Chapman is extremely Greek. Greek life is everywhere. What is your guys' take on Greek life housing specifically? Jasmine, let's start with you.
I believe that we do not need Chapman Greek housing. Like the young woman said on the video, there's already so many Greeks living together in housing, and for the university to accept that and to make it a university thing would only separate Greeks from the normal population, I believe.
Connor, how about you? What do you think?
Look at what we just had this past week with Greek life and how into it the whole school got. I think if we have kind of a housing sector for that Greek life, for fraternities, sororities, I think we'd be able to see that kind of enthusiasm, throughout the semester, throughout the year.
So I think we could all agree as well that Greek life unites people on campus. But at the same time, if there's Greek life housing, some people mentioned, as we just saw, that it might separate the campus. Roxanne, what is your take on that?
Well, just being in a chapter, the reason why I joined a sorority is because even though I have my own sisterhood and group of people, I have the power to be friends with girls in any other chapters, and 2 of my best friends aren't even in the same chapter as I am, and I feel like if we had housing, it would just not necessarily segregate, but it would just clump people together with their own group rather than just being an open environment for everybody. So I don't really think we need it.
So this is a perspective from someone in Greek life. As 2 people who aren't in Greek life, if there is funded Greek life housing, how will it affect you guys who are not in a fraternity or sorority?
I don't know. I'm thinking about what Roxanne said with the housing and all that. I'm thinking, because as a baseball player, I live with baseball other players on the team, and there's a continuity with it. There's also kind of like a team bonding, building aspect. So yeah, I'd miss out on that. I think if I wasn't in a fraternity and I wasn't around my brothers all the time, I think I'd be missing out on something.
Jasmine, what's your take?
I feel like there are people who are not in Greek life who are already feeling left out, not in the sense that they wanted to be a part of it and they're feeling left out. They just feel like there's like this thing, this stigma at Chapman that you have to be in Greek life or you're just not about that. Like, you're just not.
Well, I think what it is, if you're
Someone
not Greek,
to
you're a
be-
freak. So
Exactly. And so I feel like if there was housing, that will make those people feel even more segregated and feel even more left out. And I mean, there are some people who don't feel comfortable joining Greek organizations that are here, and they would like more diversity in the Greek organizations. And so to add housing to that situation would just make it even worse, I believe.
And you guys agree with that?
Yeah, like I think Connor was talking about if there was a Greek row or just a line of Greek houses, it would bring up so much excitement like Greek Week did. But Greek Week was kind of just out in the open in the middle of campus, like all over. So I feel like it's less intimidating than if there's a full-on row. Like if I wasn't in Greek, I would feel very intimidated to go in, even though like here at Chapman, we're a very open environment for the most part.
And then on top of that, Greeks already have like air bands and like skit that keeps up their excitement throughout the year. So what they need housing for?
So overall, Connor, what do you think Greek life does for a campus?
I think it focuses attention on kind of finding your niche. I mean, people go to college to kind of figure out what they want to do, but they also want to figure out who they associate with, who they have similarities with. And when you have a fraternity or sorority, just in that fraternity or sorority, you're going to have so many differences, so many varieties of people in there. You have people that you're going to find similarities with, and I think if you had, let's say, a Greek row, if you had a fraternity row or sorority row, you would have people that you could stay with, and I think that would embody kind of a culture where people can feel like they have somewhere to find.
So
that
Connor,
sounds very, very familiar to a certain center that people are trying to get on.
and we'll get.
I'm just gonna put
hey,
that out
hey,
there.
that's a tease right there. We'll get to that a little bit later. So, yay or nay, Greek life housing, Roxanne?
Nay.
Connor?
Yay.
Nay.
So the consensus is nay. But we'll keep it going though. So, why is Greek life so important, and why is Greek life housing such a hot topic? It seems like there's so much going on. Why does there need to be Greek life housing if we were to say they are going to build some?
That's my question exactly. Why?
I feel like the theory behind it could be that just like the huge schools, like they all have Greek housing and everything like that, and they're not that big at their own school. But with us, we're such a big group of people. I was gonna say large population. There we go. We're such a large population of the school, like almost 40% of it. So why not be the full package, I think? But I just feel like we don't need it. Like we're already strong enough, and
We are strong enough, and we have that 40% on campus. But right now, with the housing situation that a lot of the students have, they're spread out all around, and that can create some problems when you have people in a fraternity isolated and they're surrounded by families, and they might be throwing a party occasionally, and there can be some consequences for that, as we've seen in the past decade. We've seen that.
I think before we start talking about Greek housing, and like people who are in Greek housing can afford like to have their own homes, I think we should start talking about housing in general at Chapman, because that's very few and far in between. I think that's something they should fix first before they start talking about Greek housing.
Well, that's another hot topic. One, we need the money to do that. And two, where would we put the Greek houses?
Yeah, there's not even room for parking, so I think we should solve one
I think there's
problem
some
at a
space
time.
in Mission Viejo, but that's a little bit of a hike. I mean, where are we going to find the space?
Exactly.
Right.
So I think that just shuts it down there. I don't think the Orange community would be too happy to have another chunk of their space taken away from them. So.
And what would Greek life potentially do for this city overall? Would the people who live in the city of Orange be up for it, or no? What is your take, Roxanne?
Well, I mean, they're barely up for us building new schools and parking and applying more regular housing to students rather than, like, let alone lose their space for a sorority. Like, I know that's bad being in one saying that, but most residents aren't going to go for that. like 99.87 will not go for that. Statistic, everyone.
So we welcome in our studio interviewer, Kelly Moody. You're standing by with someone who has their own opinion on Greek life and Greek life housing.
Hey guys, that is correct. I'm sitting here with Katie. Katie's a sophomore, and Katie, you're not Greek, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so Katie, go ahead. You had a question for them that you wanted to ask.
Well, I was wondering, you said that 40% are involved with Greek life for the 60% that aren't, including me. How do you think the campus can be more inclusive of those people who aren't involved?
Okay.
So do you think that maybe there's a way that we could incorporate outside groups into Greek life, or is that even a good idea? Should Greek life stay exclusive? What do you guys think?
Well, I think we all know that we have a plethora of clubs and other things that can unite students on campus, but there's something about Greek life that seems to unite people more than anything else on campus.
Well, like for us, in Gamma Phi, our philanthropy is air bands, and before it used to be solely just sororities and fraternities, and for the past 2 or 3 years, we've been including more and more just clubs and organizations that aren't Greek, and I just feel like it's made it an even better event because now more people can be involved in it, and people are liking it better and better, and it's becoming more successful, including the entire campus in it.
What do you think, Connor?
I think, yeah, the people in sororities and in fraternities, some of them that is their only, I guess, extracurricular thing that they do. But a lot of people in those sororities and fraternities, they're doing other things. They're a part of other clubs on campus. They're a part of sports teams. They're a part of intramurals. They're a part of SGA, anything. So they're already blurring lines with other people that maybe not are in their sorority or might be in a different one. And they're still able to coexist. They're still able to make friends with those people. They're still able to function and work through it.
So Jasmine, to answer Katie's question, what should Chapman do for students who are not in Greek life?
I think it's on the Greek life. I think we should take a page from Gamma Phi's book and continue to open up events to everyone on campus. If you're having them on campus, this is Chapman's campus. If you're a part of Chapman, you should be able to attend an event. I understand that there are certain things about Greek life that need to stay Greek life because people pay for that. So, I mean, I understand that. But when you're having something as big as air bands or skit on campus, I think it should be open to everyone on campus because this is not just Greek life's campus. It's our campus.
That's a great point, and we'll talk about this maybe a little bit more. But coming up, we take a dive into a different topic, the Multicultural Center drama here at Chapman University. Stay tuned on This is Chapman.
Don't stand by, stand up.
And welcome back to This is Chapman. Yeah. Our next topic has been buzzing around the campus since September, but before to discuss, guys, reporter Vivian Vu talks about the Multicultural Center with fellow students.
Hey there, I'm Vivian Vu and I'm in front of Leatherby Libraries, obviously not a multicultural center since one doesn't exist here at Chapman University. And according to President Doty, there are no plans to build one anytime soon. We caught up with students to ask about the Multicultural Center and campus diversity.
There should be one because, as an up-and-coming private university, it's important to make international students feel welcome. And without that center, they may feel left out.
I actually do believe that we should have a multicultural center because, especially for me, I consider myself a minority here at Chapman, and I feel like every culture should be praised and it shouldn't just be focused on one of them because I do believe that it is we're not, or being Asian, there's not a lot of us here, so it kind of already feels like we're undermined. So I think a cultural center would help embrace every culture.
If Chapman is truly, an interfaith, multicultural campus, then why segregate, the students to a certain area when the entire campus, every single room, every single building, every aspect of Chapman really is multicultural?
Yes, I do believe that we need a multicultural center. I think my biggest issue with Doty's statement is just the simple fact that he said that the whole campus should be a diversity center, which is, in that case, like, my argument to that is simple. Like, why do we have an interfaith center then? Shouldn't the whole campus also be an interfaith center then? Because, like, we should all respect one another's faiths and religions, but we shouldn't necessarily do the same for, like, diversity. And to top it all off, like, it's not...
We have people from every corner of the earth. It's almost like, feels like Ellis Island in the early 1900s almost. So we've had the Fish Interfaith Center on campus for years now, and this celebrates the diversity of religions. Now we have that, and that's going strong, but why not the Multicultural Center? Connor, what do you think?
I'm looking at the Interfaith Center first to start off with that, because you said that. It is a good thing we have that, and people feel open with whatever their religious beliefs are. On campus, yeah, it is a melting pot. I'm in the majority, though. I'm a white male, and I don't have that sense of not belonging. I've always felt like I've belonged here. I've never felt that I've needed a multicultural center, but I think that we do. I think we can only see positive things from that multicultural center.
And Jasmine, as an African-American woman, what do you feel is right here? Multicultural center or no?
I feel we need to have a multicultural center. I feel like there are lots of minorities here on this campus, and let me just make it clear, when we say multicultural center, it does not just mean race. It means all different types of identities, whether that be queer, whether that be female, male, anything. And so I feel like there are a lot of minorities here on this campus that do not feel like they are wanted, that do not feel like they fit in or don't feel welcomed here at Chapman because of the culture of this school. Just last year, there was a suggestion put in the student union info box asking to have less minorities. And it's like, yeah, you say there's a melting pot, but there's a melting pot of whites and then a sprinkle of other little identities. So I don't see a melting pot. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. It's needed. It's definitely needed. And for the university to not give us that multicultural center, it's almost like they don't recognize, they're not giving us that voice that we need. They're not recognizing us as students here who do not feel welcome. And when you have that, you have students who don't want to be here.
So
and who tell other students, do not come here.
So we do have a variety of cultures and ethnicities on campus, but yet people feel isolated. Roxanne, do you agree with that?
Well, I mean, that just makes me so sad to hear. Like, I'm also a minority, but I haven't really, like, I'm from the Middle East, which already has such a horrible connotation with it. But, I mean, I've never really felt like I just feel like we don't need a center to show, like, oh, like, look, we're very welcoming. We should work on the entire campus as a unit to up that so that that doesn't happen to anyone or Jasmine or whoever it was. Like, we should work on the school as a unit, not build a building that's going to be like, oh, here, you could feel better if you go here. I feel like that'll push people away from just fixing the school as a whole.
And so how do you suppose we work on the school as a whole? I mean, if we need to work on the school as a whole, what can we do? I believe the best way to start that would be to have a multicultural center. That's the best starting point.
Okay, before we get into that, why though? What would be in the multicultural center?
Lots of things. It would just be a safe place for multicultural students to go when they need to talk to people about negative or positive things that are happening on campus. It'll have events that help bring awareness to different identities on campus. It'll help mediate through different identities to help people, solve issues. It's lots of things. It can be whatever we make it out to be. But the main thing that I want to get across is it tells the Chapman community that there are different identities here other than upper class Caucasian males and females, and we need to be seen and we need to be heard, and we're not someone to just be ignored.
Well, see, Jasmine said there should be events in this building. This building would host events and all that stuff. So why can't we just host the events just on campus? Like, we can start as shallow as the International Food Fair. We could start as shallow as that and just see like different cultures, like their food and what their style is, and we could trickle it down to events and things like that where there can be discussions and just education for students to be aware of the cultures around them and to be more open and understanding.
Well, my issue with that is that's not happening.
But it should. We shouldn't focus on like building a building. We should just then start the events and do that stuff, the stuff that the building will host.
So I think it would be helpful.
Okay, so you want the things that the building will host, but you don't want the building.
I just feel like
What?
it'll physically be a barrier because then people.
What you don't want is that fear that diversity and that acceptance is going to be located. You want that to be peripherine through the entire university.
People. We have an interfaith center.
Yeah, true.
Do the religious people at this school do you feel like you can't practice your religion unless you're at the interfaith center?
No.
Do you feel like they are separated from you?
And like the idea of the
then.
And like the idea of the multicultural center, it's not just one ethnicity or religion. The interfaith celebrates all of them and hosts a variety of events. It's not just for Jews, it's not just for Christians, it's not just for Muslims.
For everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But to give people a little bit of background on this, the making of this multicultural center, the idea of it, has been in the making for about 10 years now. And Jim Doty, about 8 years ago, he had a town city meeting, and he said he will not let this be built while he's president. So this idea resurfaced earlier this year in September when people were talking and asking him about it, and he said, I do not want a multicultural center because I feel it will isolate people on this campus. And Jasmine, we know you sat down with Jim Doty, so let's take a look at the interview with him.
It's a place where you center particular people or ideas or thoughts, and I don't think we should do that on a university campus that promotes open dialogue, free speech, and in my mind, these ideas are too important to be only discussed in one area of the campus. I think we all believe in the significance and importance of promoting multicultural issues. We all respect the cultures that we come from. And at the same time, I hope there is an even greater understanding and appreciation for the fact that we're all in it together, we're all part of humanity, and we believe in these causes.
All right, guys. So Jim Doty's quotes might have been a little bit misunderstood, but nonetheless, it created a buzz around the campus. People were upset, people agreed with him, and we actually have someone in the audience standing by. Kelly Moody, what do you got for us?
Joining me now is Nick, and Nick, you're also a sophomore. Do you consider yourself multicultural?
I do believe so. I am from a family of Portuguese immigrants, so I consider myself multicultural for sure.
Okay, and what was your question that you wanted to ask them?
I want to ask if if it was approved to have a multicultural center, where do you think they would put the building itself?
So where would that building go on campus?
So just like the Greek housing topic,
Yeah.
where do we put this one?
It's always about space.
We don't need a new building, just give us the space.
So are you saying we want to have like a tent? What are we talking about?
I can't handle you.
Like something portable?
Right now. Oh my goodness. There's space around this campus that's not being used, or space that's being used for things that can be moved to other areas. I don't know. We can figure it out, but it's got to happen. It's just got to be here.
Connor, what do you think?
Yeah,
Way more important than Greek housing.
We need to have it physically here. I mean, Doty talked about not keeping it in one location, but I think having it physically on campus, you start that communication, you start that conversation about being multicultural and being accepting and being diverse, and we need it physically here for that to happen, to get something started. I don't know where you'd put it.
No, I agree. Like in the union, they started with the I am Chapman thing. Like I think throughout campus we should have things like that, but I don't think we should have a specific center for it. I think that just scares me. Like you shouldn't be at the school. Go to your center.
Wait, so it scares you when all the multicultural people get into one place?
Girl, I am multicultural.
Freaks me out.
Okay.
Freaks me out.
Okay.
I lock my doors. It freaks me out.
No.
Okay.
No, the idea of like the segregation scares me. Girl, I am multicultural. I am like purebred multicultural.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what side you're playing right now, so I just gotta make sure.
She's a stallion. Yeah. So you agree with Doty that multicultural diversity and ethnicities is very important.
Like there should be awareness of it.
Like
That's not what she's saying.
Yes,
we all agree on that. We all agree on that.
I think that's an important statement that he made, and I think that is just such a cool thing that, but it's not. And that's the issue. That is not what Chapman is. And I don't believe that we all believe in humanity and that every single person at Chapman believes in what we do or what President Doty says he does. So.
But we want that, and we want that continuity, and we want everybody to be on the same page.
Exactly.
With that. Yeah.
So for you guys, Jasmine and Roxanne especially, if there was this center built, how would it make you feel? How would you feel around the campus? Comfortable, more comfortable?
I feel like it'd be fine. Like, I'd go and check it out every now and then. I don't know how big of a difference it'll make for me specifically. I'm sure for other people it'll make a bigger one, but I don't really know.
I think Jasmine has a little bit different opinion on this.
I just feel like finally they hear us, they see us, and they know we're here, and they're no longer ignoring us.
So for you, it's like a physical symbol, like, yes,
exactly,
this exists.
Exactly, and that's the beginning. That's just the beginning. That's just like the beginning, girl. That's like, I don't even know what to, like the salad. At the beginning of the salad, that's the greens. You still got all the toppings to put on
Bacon
top of
bits
it.
And yeah.
You don't want a simple salad this time? You want
Hey, Olive Garden, little onions.
No,
You
I
know
don't
what I'm
like my
talking about.
salad simple. Like,
Keep it
we'll talk
kosher,
afterwards.
so.
But yes, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's lots more that'll happen. But I believe that is the starting place.
All right, guys. So the Multicultural Center, to build or not to build, that is the question. After the break, we are going to talk about the new Yes Means Yes law and what it means for students here at Chapman. You're watching This is Chapman.
Don't stand by, stand up.
Emergencies and disasters happen with little or no warning and often occur while you are away from home. Be ready for emergencies by registering your alternate phone numbers, cell phones, and email addresses at alertoc.com. You will receive alerts when an emergency occurs near your workplace or neighborhood.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now on to a more sensitive subject around college campuses. In September, California Governor Jerry Brown approved a new law regarding rape and sexual assault at colleges. The Yes Means Yes law. Reporter Natalie Aronson meets with Chapman students to discuss the impact of this new bill.
Jerry Brown's decision to sign into legislation the Yes Means Yes policy is one that over 800 college campuses across our nation have adopted as well. Now, this policy states that each member participating in a sexual act must give enthusiastic and coherent consent, or else it's not considered legitimate. Now, we took to our college campus to see what Chapman students think about this policy.
I would say I'm fully in support of it. I have personally have friends who've been victims of like date rape and things like that, and so a policy that says you have to say yes, you have to be conscious, you have to do all this, like, I think it's great.
I think our culture has for too long allowed whatever goes, whatever men decide is right to be the standard, and I think that having this policy makes it crystal clear that it's a 50-50 partnership.
I'm definitely an advocate for the Yes Means Yes policy. I think that, you know, if both parties are inebriated, that nobody really has the ability to give consent because they're not physically or mentally capable of giving consent. I just think that Yes Means Yes, the name itself implies that a yes always means yes, when in reality, I think what Yes Means Yes is trying to convey is that if either party is inebriated, then yes doesn't necessarily mean yes. So I think that they should rebrand the name of the policy. However, I think overall the message that's being adopted is a good one, and I think it's something that...
All right, guys, so the policy used to be no means no, and now it's yes means yes. Jasmine, does this promote a healthier and safer environment on college campuses?
I like the idea of it. but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, because at the end of the day, it's just going to be the attack's word against their attacker. So, I mean, that's what it's been before. So how much difference will it make? That's my question. I don't think it will.
Connor, how about you? Do you think it'll make a difference?
Yeah, look statistically. Since this, the yes means yes. You look at more cases being reported, and I think that's a good thing because more people are speaking out, less people are remaining quiet. There's less victims holding it in and they're talking about it. And I think that's the biggest advantage of the yes means yes, is that it's starting a conversation and it's starting a support system, a community where these people feel safe and they don't feel alone. They feel like they can talk about this openly and they can discuss it. And once people are discussing it more, it's less likely to happen. Educated people make educated decisions.
Well, this topic is, obviously very controversial, but it feels like yes means yes, this new bill, it gives a more clear and concise guidelines when dealing with rape and sexual assault. Do you agree with that, Roxanne?
No, I completely agree. I just feel like it's something that, when we first came to Chapman during our orientation, we had that Healthy Panther thing where we got the rundown and everything, and I just feel like if all schools, I'm sure a lot of schools do it, but if all schools did it and people just actually, most of it was just common sense to me. I don't know if it's common sense to other people. So I feel like this was just kind of not redundant. It's good. More people are reporting it and stuff, but the amount of events happening are the same. I feel like Jasmine said, how much is it going to help just saying it again?
I think even if it is common sense, though, it's good to hear that again. And yeah, we had the Healthy Panther freshman year, but to hear that again maybe once a semester, at least once a year, to have people hear that, even if it is just common sense, hearing it again, that repetition keeps it in your head longer. It can only do a positive thing with that.
To bring it back to Chapman, I think Chapman should do a lot more. Well, we were already at Chapman. But to bring it back to Chapman, I believe that Chapman should do more than just the Healthy Panther at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of the semester. I think there should be, the administration should have constant ongoing campaigns that remind people of what's considered to be more safer than other things, and just how to protect themselves, pretty much.
So 3 answers right here, and now we have a question from the audience. Kelly Moody, you're standing by with Pete.
I am here with our fearless leader, Pete Weitzner. He's our professor of everything in television and broadcast journalism. Pete, what's your take on yes means yes?
I actually agree with all 3 panelists. I think we all agree on the sentiment, of course, but it should be that everyone should respect each other. We want to reduce sexual assault, domestic violence, but it really should, we don't need more laws. This state isn't called the nanny state for nothing. So it should be, from the governor on down, use the bully pulpit. University president should use that bully pulpit. You said it was in orientation. But that's enough. I lumped this in with the ban on plastic bags. Stay with me. Do we need? We're just becoming, and especially the state, too many rules. And I think you're going to find the situation is already complicated. It's he said versus she said, and now there's another set of rules, and lawyers are going to be the only ones who benefit.
So do we think there are too many rules in California, and how are we differing in the way that we're handling this versus maybe some other states?
So too many rules. I think we would all agree that this is a very important one, especially to us college students. We are all upperclassmen. We've been here for 3-4 years. Have you seen a difference in the students and the ideas and mentality since this new law was passed? Roxanne?
I don't know if I've seen a different mentality. Definitely, I like how Jasmine was saying something that there should just be more on-campus things. It shouldn't just be Healthy Panther. There should be continuous things and reminders, I guess, and just educating people. The sexual assault clothing line, I feel like that's so powerful. Just walking around really was just so hard, and to see so many of them. You would think there's only gonna be 5. And it was everywhere, beyond the piazza, beyond just the entire school. So I feel like just doing things like that to remind people, this is a serious thing. We need to change this. It shouldn't just be oh, okay, well, there's a lot of people telling us about their experiences. That's nice.
Jasmine,
Go ahead. To go off what Pete was saying, I think, yes, we don't need any more laws about the act. I think we need more laws that protect victims. I don't want to even call them victims. I think we need more laws to protect the attacked. that I think is more important at this moment.
So do you guys feel safe on the Chapman campus overall, Connor?
I do.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well,
as a male, I don't. I'm walking back from a Dodge class across campus at night. I don't feel I'm threatened. I don't feel unsafe. I don't feel that I need to keep pepper spray with me. The fact that we do have people that feel the need to have that is sad.
Well, I think it helps.
It's necessary, but it's sad.
Well, I think it helps too that you're 190 pounds of raw muscle. Not everyone is so lucky to have that physique.
Is that Adam?
So,
yeah.
Roxanne, what is your take on this? Do you feel safe?
I mean, generally I feel safe. Like walking around campus at night, like I'll feel safe. I think for me it's kind of the environment outside the school that might scare me. Like I feel safe within the school, but walking from Dodge to campus or vice versa, like I need to be on the phone with somebody and I need to be like waddling like no tomorrow, like walking super fast. Like maybe it's just a thing. I'm just paranoid, but yeah, generally I feel safe.
I feel safe when it comes to harassment and sexual assault issues, but I don't feel safe in other aspects here at Chapman.
So,
Like as a black woman, I don't feel safe here at Chapman.
so you do not feel safe. Connor, you do feel safe. And Roxanne, overall, you do feel safe. That's a consensus. So we'll take a break, and when we come back, we will discuss a mystery topic. Ooh. It's a mystery to me. It's a mystery to our panelists. It's a mystery to everyone here. So stay tuned on This is Chapman.
Don't stand by, stand up.
And for our last segment on This is Chapman, guys, I just found out Thanksgiving is coming up. I didn't find out. November 25th every year. But, hey, what's your favorite side dish to go along with the turkey and if you're a vegetarian, tofurkey? Roxanne.
Mashed potatoes. I'm just done. Like soak it in gravy and like bring it out, drench it in butter. I'm good to go. That's my thing right there.
Is that a no from you, Jasmine? I can't tell.
That is a heck no.
What?
No, it's all about the cranberry sauce and the mac and cheese. Girl, what you talking about?
Wait, mac and cheese is in there?
Cranberry sauce
Yes.
on
Hey.
Yes.
covered in cranberry
Yes,
sauce.
girl, yes. Oh, you just had me go get her.
Oh,
you
my
know.
family doesn't do mac and cheese. I've been
No.
strict my entire life.
Oh, man.
I think we're all like Pavlov's dogs now. We're all a little bit
yeah.
salivating of the thought of this.
Mac and cheese, no.
Connor, how about you? What do you think?
I'd say side dish. I'm gonna go. Can I do dessert if I did pumpkin pie?
Anything that's not the main course.
Anything that's not turkey. Okay, I'm gonna go pumpkin pie
Yo.
or pecan pie. And either one of those, I'm set. Turkey, I have a drumstick, and then pumpkin
All right.
pie, and I'm good.
So thanks for asking
I'll check
me,
out.
but I would also go with pies. I mean,
Yeah.
it's either pumpkin or warm apple pie. I say warm because
Okay,
cold
like a
apple pie.
warm-
What the heck is
Apple pie,
that?
ooh, with some ice cream on top and a little bit of drizzle of caramel and chocolate.
Have you had that before? I feel like you're fantasizing. You've had that before.
With
Yes.
mac and cheese on the side.
Okay.
I've never.
All right, what's your take on pie? Do we all like pie here?
I like pie.
We
I
all
love
like pie. Does everyone like pie?
The more
Yes?
pie, the better.
Yeah, okay. We all like pie.
More pie,
I mean,
the better.
yeah, exactly. Favorite pie?
In general?
Yeah.
This is so
At Thanksgiving,
scary.
at Thanksgiving.
Oh, pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Hit me up with that pumpkin.
It's a draw between apple and pumpkin. Yeah.
It's all about that apple pie. My mom makes this apple pie. She puts her foot in it. It's to die for. It's that apple pie.
Metaphorical foot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Not
metaphorical
like
foot, not
physical.
real.
Yes.
All right, guys, this is a subject that's very close to our hearts and our stomachs, and someone would agree, and he's standing by with Kelly Moody.
Well, unlike you, and all of you, I'm really not a Thanksgiving food fan, to be perfectly honest. It's really awkward. Although I
Oh,
think
she didn't.
it's fantastic stick blueberry pie.
She does say so herself.
What desserts or sides are you looking at, Jamie?
Oh, blueberry pie.
One of mine then.
Please.
It's my grandmother's recipe. It's great. But do you have any questions about any other Thanksgiving meals or anything for our panel?
Is there any kind of weird desserts maybe that you guys have that's not necessarily Thanksgiving tradition?
Huh.
Weird desserts.
Tell
I can
us.
think of some, but let's go
Oh,
for you
yes.
guys. All right, Jasmine, it seems like you
My
got one.
mom makes this thing where she gets, I'm gonna sound real black right now. She gets some Kool-Aid, some like red Kool-Aid. She mixes it with some Sprite or some like a clear soda, and then she puts sherbet in it. And like she mixes
It's like
it all
everything
up.
but the kitchen
it's
sink.
Like the best, the best. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious.
Well, what is it called?
We don't even have a name for it.
But we do know the recipe, though.
just the thing,
Exactly.
That's what matters.
I wrote it down.
It's Mama's special.
I wrote it
I wrote it down.
Mrs. Jasmine's specialty. So, Connor, for you, can you think of any
No,
special dessert?
it's as vanilla as it gets. It's everything you'd expect the Pilgrims to have on their first time doing it. It's literally there's no mac and cheese. There's no Kool-Aid Sprite
So wait,
concoction.
what do you have?
There's no jungle juice, anything like that. It's as straightforward as it gets. It's as straightforward as it gets. No
Okay.
surprises.
So what do you have for Thanksgiving then?
Turkey, green beans, mashed potatoes.
Green beans?
Green beans.
Hey, it's green, so you can't have it. Is it because it's green?
Yeah.
What? Okay,
Mashed potatoes, stuffing, some kind of stuffing. I mean, maybe we do that differently. I don't know. We
Oh, we do stuffing.
put it in the oven. Yeah, it's.
We
I
put
feel like it. I feel
in
like
the
it's.
turkey, or do
All
you
right.
just have it on the side?
I don't remember.
I think an
it's
important
just on the side.
question as we're all starting to think about Thanksgiving meal is, what do you eat first at the meal?
Oh, well, my family, this is like the one holiday where we actually go super traditional, and we start out like bring on the salads and the soup, start warming it up, and then you go huge, and then we wait an hour before dessert because nobody can tackle dessert right after. So we're super traditional with that. Just boring.
My family usually paces ourselves too for that. So we're not gonna have everything at once, but we're gonna take our time, have a salad first maybe, and then attack with some zest. So.
Once again, I'm the oddball out. I have 3 in my family. My mom makes food enough for 20. She puts it on the table, and we go for it.
Hey.
And like I said, all you need is mac and cheese and cranberry sauce.
And that deep crust on that pie, though.
Really?
The deep crust. Hey, I'm in the same boat because, you know, I have a nice Jewish mother, and of course, she likes putting all the things out, and she just says, on a mark, get set, go, and you just go.
Okay.
All right, guys, any last thoughts on Thanksgiving coming up?
Get your stretchy pants on, everyone. We're going in.
Connor, are you wearing those right now?
Don't wear
I
a
can't
belt.
tell.
I'm wearing a belt right now.
Okay.
I'll probably take it off. So.
I just want to say happy Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Enjoy.
Yes.
All right, it looks like that's all we have for today's show. But before we go, we would like to remember a Chapman legend. Marion Knott passed away this past Thursday at the age of 92. Without her, none of this would be possible. The cameras you are watching us on, the stage we are standing on, and so much more would not be here if it wasn't for her generosity. But most importantly, she left a legacy of passion and dedication to film and media arts. She will always be remembered through the lenses and ideas of the students and faculty here at Marion Knott Studios. And that is a wrap for today's show. For our panelists, Jasmine Johnson, Connor Williams, and Roxanne Elhachem, and our studio interviewer, Kelly Moody, and our producers, Melanie Arakal, Megan Shin, and Monica Petruzzelli, I'm Alec Bochner saying so long from This is Chapman. Gobble, gobble, and enjoy your Thanksgiving.